One, the public cloud. The first one, the name speaks to itself. A public cloud are available to the general public and data are created and stored on third-party server, right? Data is created and stored in the third-party server and it is public to all. As server infrastructure belongs to service providers that manage them and administrate pool resources and need for user complaint to buy and maintain their own hardware is eliminated. Now, with the help of the public cloud, what we can do here? With the help of the public cloud, uh, it says that first of all, it is open to all. Second, it will use and manage their resources. They also perform the resource pooling so that everybody can use it. And it is reducing the amount of cost a firm or a person is bearing for owning their own hardware. This is showing as an advantage. Now, provider companies who are providing the public cloud offer resources as a service on a free of charge or pay per use basis. So, as we have seen in AWS, there are some free tiers, right? Some free services, some limited services which is free. But most of the services are in the basis of pay per use. If you want to use, you have to pay. Users can scale them when required. So users can scale up or scale down based on their requirement. At the same time, relying on the third party on running their infrastructure, right? So we are relying on the third party means we are relying on the cloud service provider to run our infrastructure, leave without user of knowing whether their information is kept and who is accessing it. So we don't know, right? If I'm creating a public cloud, if I'm creating my infrastructure in the public cloud, my data is stored in the public cloud. So I don't have the authority to see where my information has been kept or where my information is stored and who is accessing my information. That is a issue behind the public cloud. Means if your data is not very important data, not a critical data, then yes, we can always use public cloud because it is less costly. But when we are talking about the critical data or some important data, then we have to look for whether the data, where the data is stored and who is accessing those data. There are some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is unsophisticated setup and use. We can set up and use, we doesn't require anything else, right? Everything is visible to the UI of the cloud service provider. We can go there, we can choose our requirement. Easy access of data because it is stored in the public cloud 24/7, it is available. Flexibility to add and reduce capacity. We can add and reduce the computing resources whenever we require. Cost effectiveness is there because it is a public cloud. The cost is very less in the public cloud. Then we have continuous operation time because it is 24/7. It is we are keeping it up. Scalability is possible, flexibility and add and reduce the capacity, so it comes under flexibility. Eliminated need for the software, so we doesn't need any sort of uh, software to manage the infrastructure. So that part it is also eliminating. What is the problem here? The problem here is with the data security and privacy. These are the two concern regarding the public cloud. Compromise reliability. Reliability is also compromised. because we don't know that who is accessing our data. So the access control is not there. The lack of individual approach. It means that I want to create my own type of cloud or my own type of infrastructure. That is the limitation. Why? Because cloud service provider are offering those services which they can do, right? And they can provide. Like if let's say there is a cook and he don't know how to make the continent food. Let's say they don't know how to make pasta or pizza, right? So how you can tell them to cook? It's just like that. If I want something and that is not provided by the cloud service provider, so that is a problem. So there is a lack of individual approach. So my individual approach could not be fulfilled. The public cloud deployment model is the first choice of businesses that operate within the industry with the low privacy concept. So if anybody doesn't require so much privacy of their data, they can always go for the private public cloud. When it comes to popular cloud deployment models, uh, examples are Amazon Elastic Compute, then we have Google App Engine, IBM Blue, Microsoft Azure, Salesforce, Heroku. So these are the examples of public cloud. Now, if you see the diagram of the public cloud, how it look like. So let's say this is the cloud, and anybody who want to use the cloud can use it. So user that initiate access, user that terminate the access, public user that access the cloud via network, computers in a network that provide access, optional subscriber control security premises, outside inside user that access the cloud from within the security premises, old or new hardware is the part of it. So anybody can use that particular infrastructure. This diagram says like that.